Hello viewers, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I'm just coming off a long weekend here, the Australia Day long weekend. I haven't really done much but relax, although I zipped over to the national capital, our national capital yesterday, and I took in the Rome exhibition at the Australia's National Museum, which was really fun, lots of fun with the family. But other than that, I have been relaxing because, as you know, we're in a bit of a heat wave at the moment. So, yeah, just chilling a bit under the aircon. So before I started this reading, I'm going to be doing tarot scopes today, and I wanted to tune into the energy of the week. And my feeling is that if you're unsettled in any way, if you feel like there's something that you're just not getting to, the message here is to chill out and relax, because often when you go slower, when you adjust your pace, you can get more done. It's a bit like the turtle and the hare, and who wins the race. So that's my vibe of the week. If you're feeling frustrated or you're running, you can't catch up, there's lots of things that are that you need to be doing before we get to the end of January, the beginning of February. The new year's already started. We've had our holidays. People are now turning their thoughts to what they need to accomplish this year. But there is a little bit of counsel here, and that is just to slow down, because sometimes, it's not the fastest who wins the race. It's actually the slowest. So chill. There's nothing so imperative that it needs doing, immediately, that you can't step back and put some planning into place and really just take time to smell the roses, because that's what it's all about. You can have years go by and, you haven't stopped, you haven't come up for air, you haven't smelt the roses. That's not why we're here. So that's, I think, the overarching vibe of the week. But let's now move through our sun signs. Now, Aquarius, my last tarot scopes, I said that Aquarius was known as the water bearer. It is an air sign, but it is also known as the water bearer of the zodiac. And I do think that's quite important, because Aquarians can be quite a calming influence. They can be that steady, stable influence in the background, and I think that's why they're so helpful to people, because they bring forward that calming, strong influence. So let's move through our sun signs. We had our lunar eclipse last week. The less said about that. I think that the energy this week, that slight frustration is a little bit of a hangover from that eclipse. But let's go to Aries, the ram, and obviously Aries is a fire sign. I'll bring the laptop down and we'll get started. So what are the general conditions coming up for Aries this week? What are the general conditions coming up for Aries this week? I think there's going to be some sort of twist, some sort of. I guess it's like it's actually a quest. I think they're embarking on some sort of a quest. They made the decisions that they needed to make in the new year, and they're actually looking at how they can get what they need done this year. And there's a little bit of the quest-like energy here, because I got an image of the Page of Wands. So it's almost an inspirational quest that Arians will be going on. The Three of Pentacles dropped out at the start of this reading, which is all about teamwork and expansion. So I think their quest does involve other people. But let's pull some cards for Arians. What are the general conditions for Arians this week? Okay, so straight up we've got the reflection, which potentially happened throughout January. This really deep, could have been going on for some time, but the Hermit card is always indicating when we go within. And the Two of Wands is coming forward as really making choices. So after the reflection, the choices have been made. And this card can also be around planning and potentially trips, going on trips. What was it all about? It was about the truth for Arians. So I feel that they've come, as I said at the beginning of this reading, I feel that they've come through some kind of inner journey, and they're actually going to be setting forward on some sort of a quest. And what's the quest about? It is about finding the truth. So whether that be in relation to their career or their personal relationships or their family or some issue that has needed solving, Arians will be moving forward in this week in some way, and they will be starting that quest. So let's look to Taurians, the bull, an earth sign ruled by Venus, practical, as I said, down to earth, loyal, creative, temperamental, you name it. I have Taurians in my household. What's coming up for Taurians this week? What's coming up for Taurians this week? Taurians, what are the general conditions for Taurians this week? Yep, they too be getting on with something. So they'll be knuckling down in some way, doing the work that needs to be done this week, getting on with things. And this is after suspension. So again, all of our sun signs, it's been a difficult set of conditions in 2018. And there was some reflection over the Christmas and New Year period, but we're moving forward now. We're getting started with the year, and this suspension is ending for Taurians. There is some sort of smaller, I guess, proposal, or this could even be sorting out an issue close to their heart. It's because this is a knave. It's not a large issue, but it is something that's been rankling Taurians for a while, and it looks like that will be moving forward as well. And they'll be getting back to work, getting on with things. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, and of course, Knights are all about action, and this is hard work. It's also travel in some way as well. Can indicate a job offer, so that would fit with our proposal. Perhaps this isn't for some. This isn't an emotional proposal. This could even be a job offer as we move into the end of January, the beginning of February. But things are starting off again now. Suspension is lifted, and we're moving forward here with Taurians. Okay, so Gemini, the twins. What's coming up for Gemini? I think last week they were doing a fair bit of introspection about their work, about their purpose in life. What's happening for Geminis this week? What's happening for Geminis this week? What's happening for Geminis this week? I feel that there's going to be something coming up for Geminis. It's almost as if, I don't know whether it's a revelation or it's not necessarily a bad thing, but there'll be something coming up this week for them where they will need to either problem solve or sit back and work out what they're going to do. I think they're actually planning as a result of an issue arising this week. So what's coming up for Geminis this week? Yeah, we've got the Star of Hope here. Now that's that's almost a divine, there's a divine aspect to the Star of Hope, and it is about balance. So they have been thinking about their purpose and meaning, and they are trying to bring balance through in their life. The Knight of Chalices, for some Geminis, there could be a romantic proposal coming forward, but this also can point to some kind of proposal coming forward. So what is that in response to? Yeah, it's in response to some kind of issue or problem that's been weighing on them, and there are choices to be made. So they will be doing this problem solving this week. That's what our twins will be up to. But prior to that, there's going to be some sort of revelation because there's that star of hope coming forward. So this is around problem solving for some twins. Okay, let's move through to Cancer, the crab, water sign, ruled by the moon. I think that the lunar eclipse would have been difficult for Cancerians in some way. They would have felt those energies as they are, as I said, ruled by the moon. Very, very sensitive, complex. What's coming up for Cancerians this week? What's coming up for Cancerians this week? I think that they will be trying to move to get what they want in some way, but there'll also be an aspect of appreciation in this as well. So it's not all business with Cancerians this week. There's also a sitting back and really looking at appreciating those around that do things for them, but it's also going to be generating some goodwill for Cancerians. So what's coming up this week for Cancerians? Could be on the job. Okay, so in the past there's been some rivalries here, whether it's on the job or in close family relationships. The Five of Wands comes forward. It's really like a tug-o-war, and it is between rivalry and factions that are not really seeing eye to eye. So this could be at work, as I said, but it could be within the family. However, they're going to be, really looking at what they can do to get the results that they want, which was my feeling going into this reading. This is the Two of Wands, and it is all about waiting for results and making choices. And they will be making choices with strength here. So this is the aspect of the goodwill that I saw at the beginning of the reading for Cancerians. They will be working out what they want, what they need to do to get the results that they want. But they'll all be doing it in such a way that creates a lot of goodwill around them. Whether that is appreciating those that are doing things for them, that can help them. They'll be problem solving in a way that really does recognise the part that other people play in getting what they want. So my feeling is this is around relationships for Cancerians this week. They will be, as I said, doing that problem solving, but doing it in a way which actually brings other people along with them. Okay, so the Leo, the lion, the fire sign, okay, ruled by the sun in its glory, in all its glory. What's coming up for Leos this week? Really, I think there's a little bit of a little mini wake-up call for Leos this week. I think that in some way they're going to get a little push to say, okay, really, party's over. Some of this energy came forward last week as well. Let's have a look at what the cards are seeing for Leos this week. What are the general conditions for Leos? What are the general conditions for Leos? So, okay, so this is the Page of Cups here. Now, the Page of Cups comes forward around new things. Okay, pages are all about going on that quest, that journey, and this is around what makes them happy. Okay, so this is potentially it can also be working for nothing as well. Okay, so they are making choices here. They might have been a little bit resentful in the past, and things might have been weighing a bit heavily on them. But this week they've got to make a choice. What's that choice going to be? Stop mucking around, Leos. This is the endings and the beginnings. It's time, as I said, to for party time is over, or if you've been avoiding responsibilities, this is, as I said, this is the card of volunteer work. It's really, giving out and getting back, the two-way street. It's time to make that choice now, because really you've got to start again. interesting week for Leos. Really, it is time to get on with things here, and that's the little message from the universe. You've got to now step forward and get on with things. So let's have a look for Virgo's Earth sign. Very practical, detailed. Okay, what's coming up for Virgos? I actually think that Virgos might actually just kick back a little bit this week. I'm not saying they're normally very hard working, and they really do what needs to be done. But I think they're actually going to be maybe just getting on the edges of the circles here and just doing a little bit of observation. It might be they've been going at a frantic pace, but they're just going to step back. They're going to start to take a little bit of a step back this week. And why is it? It's really to recharge their batteries, I think, but also to make some choices. I feel it's around work this week for Virgo. So let's have a look at what the general conditions are for Virgos this week. What are the general conditions for Virgos this week? Okay, new starts. Okay, so they have been thinking about new starts. That's the Ace of Cups. It can be in relation to romance as well, marriage, their most closest relationships. These are new starts for them. And the Queen of Swords, they are getting to some sort of truth here. The Queen of Swords comes forward, self-sufficiency and really total honesty and self-rule. So this may be where they're coming from, where they're taking this step back. It is around also, I think, their work. The Empress comes forward in relation to abundance. So there's a whole lot on Virgo's minds this week. Ranging from their most closest relationships to really their work. So I think that this stepping back this week, this really contemplation, I think it's about what they can get. How they can get the most out of situations and close relationships, and really creating that abundance for themselves this week. Now, we know when Virgos think like that, when they take that little step back, when they start to really have that observation, observing the conditions around them, observing their life, if you like. We know when they start to deeply think like that, you can expect action for going forward, Virgos. This is absolutely the right thing to do because there are new starts here for you and they're long overdue. All right, let's move. I've got all the sun signs written down so I don't forget anyone because I actually left off Aquarius 1 week. We'll move to Libra, the scales. Okay. All right, another air sign ruled by Venus. Let's have a look at what's coming up for Libras this week. What's coming up for Librans this week? Yeah, I think they'll be focused on themselves. They've been focused on other people for so long. They'll actually be focused on themselves. They'll be giving themselves a little bit of a pat on the back as well. For some situation they've come through very strongly. They've won out, in other words. So they'll be actually focused on themselves and really examining that past issue or obstacle that they had to face, where really they had to call upon everything that they had in them to be triumphant, and so they'll be looking at that situation in detail this week and really looking at really why they came out on top and giving themselves, as I said, a pat on the back. So what are the conditions for Librans this week? What are the conditions for Librans? All right, so we had in the past this situation here, really where they had to defend themselves. So it wasn't a pleasant situation for Librans at all. This is the Seven of Wands, and it really is about protecting against competition. This is a very strong self-defense aspect. This week, Knave of Wands, okay, they're actually going to be, as I said, really being inspired by whatever they faced and they were triumphant over. This is actually, as I said, there's a questing aspect to these pages. and this will be really an idea might be growing within them, which, again, an idea, a project. So the confidence that they've had in that they've actually, I guess, has been hard won, is actually going to inspire them onto new things. And really, temperance, it's going to bring this balance into their lives. So I guess when we've been through something really, really difficult, as I see Librans might have had in 2018, there's a lot of thinking that has to be done, and just getting through that tough time in itself, can be quite inspirational as to how you go on, and you don't have to face that situation again. So that's what I think Librans will be doing. They'll be doing a little bit of thinking this week, and again recognising they've come through a difficult situation, but it's not sitting down and woe is me, look what I had to face. It's actually quite inspirational for them, and they also will be looking at how not to repeat those same conditions in 2019. But they'll be quite able to do that because they were the victor in this situation. So they'll be calling the shots more as they go forward. So let's look at Scorpio, water sign ruled by Mars, and more recently Pluto. Very intense, as I said. Scorpios very loyal as well. When you've got a friend who's a Scorpio, you've really got that friend for life, but you better protect them, because you better protect that friendship, and but never betray, never betray a Scorpion. All right, so what's coming up for Scorpios this week? What's coming up for Scorpios this week? What's happening with our Scorpion friends this week? Yeah, I do think they'll be back at work now. They'll be working hard. They've got a lot to contribute this week. There may be an issue that comes up that needs solving. Who better than the Scorpion brain to get to work on this? They will be contributing a lot in their workplaces this week, or it could be a family problem. They'll be taking centre stage, if you like, and working through this problem. They're stepping up this week in some way into a leadership position. What's coming up for Scorpios this week? What are the general conditions? Okay, so in the past they might have been really not fulfilling their full potential. I do have a feeling that this is all around a work situation for Scorpio. And we've got action coming forward. Yes, they will be stepping up this week. They have a lot to contribute this week. This is, pardon me, the Knight of Swords, which is, quick acting, quick thinking, action to come forward, the sword, the mental clarity. Okay, and we've got the Knight of Pentacles coming forward in relation to this hard work that they'll be doing. They'll be showing their calibre this week, and I do feel it's in a work situation, because this is the reliability and the hard work coming forward, and it will be recognised. Okay, so it may not have been recognised in the past, but it absolutely will be recognised this week. So, Sagittarius the Archer, fire sign. Let's have a look at what's happening with Sagittarians. As you know, this is my sign. What's happening for Sagittarians this week? What's happening for Sagittarians this week? What's happening for Sagittarians this week? Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to let the cards do this. They'll be facing some kind of truth, which is, there's been something rattling away in their sabre, if you like, and they'll be drawing the truth and trying to prise it open. It's a necessary truth that they have to face. This is in relation to their most close partnerships, their most loving relationships around their family, close family, could even be friendships, anyone that they're close to. There's some sort of truth they need to face. And it really is around making those judgments, because we've got the Hierophant coming forward. I don't necessarily think Sagittarians, I mean, Sagittarians are enthusiastic, they're crusaders, ruled by Jupiter. They don't like getting too serious about, really making that judgment and really imposing limits on things. But I think there is an element of having really to put some limits around certain relationships here, because of because they're actually facing the truth. So whatever it is, it's going to be positive for Sagittarius. I'll just have a look here. What's sitting on the bottom of the deck is the sun sign, so it's going to be illuminating, even though it's facing the truth, prizing it open. It's not always easy. It could be around something you've been disappointed in, that someone said in the past, or a close family member has done, which has disappointed you. You haven't faced it. It's time to face it now, and it's time to make that judgment and just move on. Really, move on. Move on in a more positive way. Okay, Sagittarians, Capricorns, the goat, an earth sign. What's happening with my Capricornian friends? Is there something other than work on the Capricornians' mind? Okay, because as we know, they make very good business people, entrepreneurs. They're highly focused, organised. What's happening for Capricornians this week? What's happening for my Capricorn friends? Okay, no, I do still think it's work, but there are some secrets coming forward, or that may have been playing on Capricorn's minds, and it could be that they're coming to the surface this week. Okay, so may not be work, but it may well be to do with work. We've got the Empress coming forward in the abundance. They might actually be considering what's holding them back from this abundant kind of situation. Victory. Okay, the victory card. Okay. Seems to me with my Capricorn friends, they'll be facing some truth this week. There are things that will emerge for them. I do still think it's in relation to work. It may be what has held them back in the past, what they need to change in the future to achieve this abundance. But there's certainly victory on the horizon for them. It could be that they have recently made a decision in relation to their work. They might have changed jobs. They might have taken a promotion. But they had to leave the old behind. That's what I'm seeing, because it wasn't good for them. But they're actually going to be doing some introspection about why that particular situation held them back, and how they can move forward in the present to achieve victory in the future. So I feel it's still around work here for Capricorns, but it could well be in relation to their partnerships, their emotional partnerships and relationships as well. I think it's really going to be about, it feels to me like it's a me year for Capricorns, and in order to achieve success, they do have to do some digging up and work out how they can do things differently to achieve that success in the future. So Aquarians, the water bearers, an air sign ruled by Uranus. Okay. What's jumped out? All right, we might just leave that to one side. It's the Nine of Wands. It could be that they're feeling a little bit battle-weary. Yeah, okay, so let's have a look at, could be after that full moon eclipse as well. Let's have a look at the general conditions for Aquarians this week. What's coming up for Aquarians? Okay, I see them signing something. What is going on? Is this contracts? Is it... what are they doing? Is there going to be some kind of financial transaction for them? I do see them signing something this week. It could well be to do with work. It could be a contract. Could be a financial transaction. There's going to be some kind of signing here. All right, let's see what the general conditions are for Aquarians this week. Okay, so could well be in relation to finances, because the Five of Pentacles comes forward in relation to really, we say being left out in the cold. But this card is coming forward in relation to really around monetary worry, I guess. Yeah. Okay, they could be signing some kind of King of Pentacles, some kind of, this is being financially resourceful, some kind of financial contract. And why? Because of these conditions in the past. So we've got the Three of Swords. They're going to be signing something this week to really, make sure their future is secure. And I do feel it is around finances for some, or it could be a promotion at work. But they'll be doing something. They'll be making some kind of decision so that they can go forward with greater, I think, financial security. All right, so that's our oh no, we've got our Piscean friends to cover yet. All right, the fish, a water sign ruled by Neptune. What are Pisceans? What's happening for Pisceans this week? Pisceans, what's happening for Pisceans? I still see a focus around the home for Pisceans. Might just be that they're going to really be grateful for that they've got that security of their home. It's like a haven for them. So I feel that they come home and they put their feet up and, after a hard day's work, okay? So they'll be focused around their home this week, I feel. Okay, what are the general conditions coming up for Pisceans? Okay. All right, we've got the Knight of Wands, and this is moving forward with strength as well. It could be their strength is being tested, but it could also be that they're contemplating new inspirations, new projects as well. And we've got the Knave of Wands, so it's really inspiring. Whatever's happening with Pisceans, they are moving forward. They're getting ready to move forward. I think it's around new projects. And we've got the King of Wands here. It's all about inspiration and creativity and new projects this week. However, if they're working hard, they are relishing their time at home. So they could be out there, really getting on with things, getting on with their projects. It is all about work for them, but they will be appreciating their time at home as well. Okay, so let's have a look at, or they could be actually even making over their home. For some, it could mean this inspiration and action that's coming forward, this creativity, could actually be a makeover at home. All right, so we'll leave it there. I just want to quickly pull 3 cards for the general vibe of the week for all our sun signs. What is the general vibe of the week for all our sun signs? Vibe of the week, vibe of the week, vibe of the week. Okay, we'll be, we've got the balls in the air now. Things, as I said, are starting to come forward. The year is starting to unfold. We're back now for 2019. What are we going to be doing this year to make it easier for us? How are we going to reach that success? How are we going to really make sure we're financially secure and stable? We'll also be looking deeper than just money. We'll be looking at what inspires us. For some, it'll be around what's our purpose, what's our meaning in life, are we doing the right things? So all these questions are coming forward. But know this, there's magic in all of this. There's magic in the air. And, you know, this is a very creative time. It's a very creative week. So that is the general vibe for the week for all our sun signs. If you have been struggling with those full moon energies of last week, you know, throw it all up in the air and get started, because you know, really, it's time. It's time to do that, and it's also not just focusing on our finances, but focusing on what inspires us, what makes us happy. What can we create? How can we create things that are better for us than what they have been in the past? So that's the overall general vibe of the week. Okay, thank you, viewers, for your support. I hope you enjoy the tarot scopes. I certainly do. I just, yeah, it makes a change from the normal things I do, and I'm also reminded I do need to do some spirit files as well, and so we've got to start to look at things there. You know, those overarching themes that really, what are the messages from spirit around it. I do feel that there is I guess on this channel and more broadly as well, you know, people are not just thinking about finances, they're actually thinking about purpose and meaning in life, and potentially their spirituality. So I'll leave it there. Have a great week. Enjoy, relax. Remember, if you're going quickly, slow it down. Slow it down, because not always the fastest wins the race. All right. Thank you, viewers.